We bout that business, that business. Boy, we bout that business. It get real up in that field, but I build bout that business. That business, that business. Boy, we bout that business. This all hustle, this ain't luck. Lady Buck about that business. We bout that business, that business. We trending on retreat. We bout that business, that business. All we know is win, ain't no defeat. We bout that business, that business. Competition can't compete. We bout that business, that business. Number one, I feel it in my cleats. Hey, we got facts, we got stats. Not to mention trending topics. You the champ? No, that's cap. Drilling, killing all the guys. Please don't try that, boy. You know we hotter, boy. Making all kind of noise. We on fire. What you know about them Ohio boys? We bout that business, that business. Boy, we bout that business. It get real up in that field, but I build bout that business. That business, that business. Boy, we bout that business. This all hustle, this ain't luck. Lady Buck about that business. We bout that business, that business. We trending on retreat. We bout that business, that business. All we know is win, ain't no defeat. We bout that business, that business. Competition can't compete. We bout that business, that business. Number one, I feel it in my cleats.
Yeah, we back, baby. We back. We about that business. The most, I'm talking about interactive podcast experience ever on the planet. Yes, I said it. I said it. That's
You
that's
can
right.
say it. You can say it.
Yeah, and we are completely inclusive. We can disagree about anything and or agree. We need your take. I need to hear every bit of your takes because we're not going to always agree on topics. And that's why this platform is just for you guys and the ones that really want to participate, who want to at least voice their own opinion and not someone else's. So what say you, Lady Buck?
Yeah, I agree. I just have to, really go off of what you said. Piggyback off of that. Yeah, we're not always going to agree. I mean, the state of our country, it's in an uproar right now, and everybody's emotional, about every little thing, as we should be. However, again, we'll talk about, more about this. There's just certain things, we're a sports podcast, right? And, with the terrible end of football season this past Sunday, congrats, Seahawks. Congrats to both of the Buckeyes on both sides, on both teams, Henderson and Najigma. Congrats to both of them. With football season ending, there's a lot still to talk about in sports. We love football, and of course that's our main sport, but we know all sports, and we're going to bring you all sports. But there's just certain things that we need to leave out of sports. And we'll talk about that later on. And I hope you guys are willing to join this conversation. I hope it becomes an intense conversation. I hope you're viewing. I hope if you're viewing that you join in and give your opinion. Sometimes things are uncomfortable and you don't want to have certain conversations. But those uncomfortable conversations are necessary sometimes. But we're all adults. Sometimes we'll have to agree to disagree. And that's it. But let's get down to business. First of all, head on over to our Facebook page. It's About That Business with Buckeye Bill. We have the Buckeye Bill page, but we also have the About That Business page. So most of you have moved over already and you've followed us. So make sure the rest of you come on over and tell your friends about us, okay? Make sure you tell your friends about That Business and what we do over here. We're interactive. You can follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Let them know that it's also interactive. It's not just for us. We want to hear from you. You can click the link that's in the comment. You can click the link that is actually in the ad of our live show tonight and every other show that we do. Click the link. It's very simple. You don't have to be on camera if you want to, but if you want to, you can. But if you want to be heard and you want to talk versus typing, whatever you're comfortable with, we allow that. Rules: no vulgar comments. We don't like to insult any communities. Okay? And no profanity whatsoever. I'll have to mute you and then I'll have to take you off the stage. So we can get emotional about things. We can agree. Like again, we can agree to disagree, but we don't have to use, uh, foul language because we want to be around. We want to stay around, and we're not gonna let you, you know, make us not be around. What say you, Buckeye Bill?
Well, listen, I agree. And the good, like I said, the good thing about this being an interactive podcast is it's you, the viewers, who really make this show work and move in the direction that the vision is. And the vision is talking about and loving sports and enjoying the highs and the lows,
Yeah,
um, your predictions on what your teams can do in a game or in the future, the coaching staff, the players, the administration, or the organization. This is why we're here for that. We're here to enjoy each other and make sure that we're going in the right direction as far as unity and respect. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming weeks, months, and years with being with you guys and growing with you. So with that, let's get started, family.
let's get started. Well, we've got some topics I forgot. You guys help us reach 500 followers. We're very close. And you know we're going to keep on asking. Once we reach that 500, we're going to ask you to help us reach 1,000. You know it's coming. So go ahead. Help us reach that 500, please. So far, you've been so good to us. I've seen the referrals. I've seen everybody telling their friends, family, joining in with us and really watching our clips and following us over there on TikTok. I see you and I thank you. Thank you so much. The people who are not doing it, come on, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all know y'all can do that for me. And Buckeye Bill, come on, let's do this. So let's get this started, Buckeye Bill. You said earlier today, we're going to just do a little bit of the NBA. We're going to actually start our NBA and NCAA and March Madness and all the other things that we have to talk about. But this was interesting because this happened last night. Buckeye Bill, you stated this was what, the Pistons and the Hornets. What happened here, and what's your issue with what's your take on this?
Well, basically, of course, it was an emotional game, but they're basketball players, okay, and they need to stick to their profession. Um, it got out of hand. A lot of pushing and shoving, and listen, we don't need no brawl like they did back in Detroit long time ago. People getting hurt and things of that nature. That's not the form of basketball. That's not basketball at all, first of all. Second of all, if you're going to play the game of basketball, it's going to get physical on that court. Okay? And you might get outplayed. So if you don't know how to keep your composure, you need to sit on the bench. And Doran and Harris and all these players who want to act like they bad boys, or thugs, don't need to be in the game. They need to be sitting either out the game or sitting on the bench watching the game, just like all the rest of us. Do not bring this kind of streetness, or I don't even know how to even say it. This type of street ball into our entertainment. This is just not the place for it. If you want to do that, go to Y. Go play on the courts, the courts at the high school or something like that. Do not bring that into the NBA. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm looking forward to some of these young stars coming into their own and watching a great brand of basketball. So leave that out of the game. What say you, Ladybug?
Well, I agree with you, and I'll to a certain extent. One thing I want us to remember that these guys are getting younger and younger, getting into the league. Let's keep that in mind. Um, things have changed in that arena, but I agree with you though. I do agree there has to be some self discipline. You have to learn that, but we've got to keep in mind sometimes they haven't matured enough yet, and so we may see things like this, but and also keep in mind they're human. They're human, and I know that we say because they're making this amount of money and they have people looking up to them. At the same time, they are human. So, no, do I want to see this? No. Do I expect to see it sometimes? Yeah. I mean, because they're human. It's not a close contact sport such as football, but it is a contact sport. Where they're close and things are said, and sometimes things get out of control. I don't think that it should ruin someone's career because you know they got in a little fight. I mean, I did some research too, and I thought about you know, look, I mean Julius Erving and Bird, Larry Bird. I mean, this has been happening. This isn't new. This isn't new. We even saw Michael Jordan, who was usually very self-disciplined. He was a very disciplined player, but he lost his composure on a game or two. I'm sure more than that, but he was really praised for how disciplined he was. But everybody loses their cool sometimes, you know. And I remember this iconic moment when Reggie Miller and him had this face off. So that's my take on it. I'm like you. I think that unfortunately you are a role model, whether you want to be or not. You've gotta try your hardest to have self-discipline. However, I do understand that people get emotional and that again they're getting younger and younger and they're maturing, they're learning. So I wouldn't snatch someone's career away, because you get in a fight or two. But I think that hey, consequences. There's consequences. So, you know, like you said, you need to sit on the bench for a while. You need to pay that fine. You need to feel it. So I definitely agree with you. Yeah.
Well,
Did you add
and
to
I mean
that?
that, but it was exciting because see the regular season has been so boring.
Mhm.
Something like this can spark more interest into the next game that those two play. Because the Hornets, I think they have went on a 9-0 run. The Hornets been beating people. So with Detroit coming in there and snatching that win from them, that's another small rivalry that might generate a little bit more interest other than the playoffs because the regular season has not been it hasn't
Yeah.
caught my attention.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It just hasn't caught my attention
Me
whatsoever.
either.
So maybe I mean I don't like the com com combat. I like to see good basketball. I like to if you're gonna talk trash with a three or talk trash with a slam. All that
Yeah.
physical stuff
Good point.
that can be
Good
you
point.
know that's just not basketball. I mean it's it's not that physical. It is physical, but it's not physical enough for you to lay hands on each other. You come back and talk trash, and then you come back and boom, bust them in the mouth with a 3-point or crossover. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things.
Yeah.
That's how you come back at somebody. That's what basketball has always been about. Oh, you what you call my mama this, that, another, wah, wah, wah. Boo. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they need to get back to. The
True,
answering on the
true.
floor.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
That, that,
great
that,
point.
that right there. And that's what's going to garner a little bit more attention during the regular season because we're all going to watch the playoffs. But the regular
Mhm.
season has been so dry that, a little bit of spark like that might bring a little bit of attention. I just
Right.
don't like it. I just don't want it to get out of hand. So that's
Yeah,
that's my take.
yeah, yeah. And I agree with you. I don't disagree with anything, other than what I said. They're emotional, they're human, but at the same time, they have to do it, answer it on the court,
Answer on the
like you
board.
said, with a slam dunk, nice 3 point, talking that way.
Or give
So
them something, something, something.
yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
give them something, something. They be like laying over here. That's how you get back at somebody. You
right,
you you put
right,
a move on them and they laying down over here and you going to it. You going for a 2 point.
right.
Boom. That's what you supposed to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and then you can step over top of him just like Allen Iverson did. Those are the things. That's the comeback. The
yeah,
comeback ain't swinging.
yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I totally agree. So, I just wanted to bring back, those moments because it's always
Those
happened.
were excellent, excellent moments though.
Yeah, they were.
That Larry Bird. Oh, because Larry Bird, he was about that business.
Yeah,
He
he
talked so
was.
much trash to everybody. Everybody wanted to put hands on him. You
He
know what I'm
fought
saying?
a lot.
He could back it up.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
fought a lot,
and
and he didn't back down either
no, and
at all.
iconically, Dr. J, he was literally passing the torch to the Michael Jordans and the Larry Birds, but he wasn't gonna back down from them. He wasn't
Right,
gonna back down from no Larry Bird or
right,
Michael
at
Jordan.
all, at
He
all.
wasn't gonna back down. So that's the kind of energy that you need to have.
And
That's
I'll
what
have to, I have to admit something that when I'm watching those classics, like when you're watching, um, the biographies of the greats, and we see those iconic fights and stuff. I enjoy those moments. I hate to say that, but I do, because it's history involved, and it's like seeing people that everybody has idolized kind of like lose their cool, and there have been some that I had never seen before,
because they have human
Yeah,
flaws, just like you said.
right.
All of us have flaws, so it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
But just
Yeah,
looking at Michael Jordan's face right
yeah, yeah.
there,
He was
he's like,
serious.
oh, man,
He was serious.
you gonna tell me that ain't a face I'm about that business or what?
What was he saying? What was he saying, Buckeye Bill?
Boy,
What
he
you
was like, man,
say?
I'm about that business.
Because Reggie Miller was known to taunt. I mean,
Oh
he
man,
was known to
I mean,
push
and that's
buttons, and I
that's what's
think
great
he
about
put this.
basketball.
Yeah,
When you're in a helmet and you're 5 yards, 10 yards away from each other, it's different than playing on a court and saying, "Oh no, you want some of this? I'm gonna give you everything your mama didn't give you when you was a baby." That people say that.
yeah,
They say those things on the
yeah,
court.
yeah.
Let me change your diaper, bam, bam. As Big Reggie. Reggie will tell you, he probably was one of the
Oh, I'd
biggest trash
love.
talkers on the court.
Yes, I'd love
So
to hear.
yeah, that's what I love about basketball. I'm talking about whether it's high school, junior high school, college, the G League, WNBA, girls college. They all talk trash, but they back
Right,
it up on the court,
right,
and
right.
that's what's important.
Yep.
That's what's
So,
important.
yep, I agree. Now let's talk about that business, and we've got some important business to talk about, and we know here about that business, and you all know it is February, which is universally Black History Month. Um, we and here about that business, we educate all year round. Okay, all 12 months. So we don't single out a month to educate our children. Um, and anyone else who wants to be educated. But we all celebrate this month together as a country, and so this is the opportunity to educate, um, everyone else, who wants to learn more, or who may already know. So, who would we be to not include our segment? So today we are choosing none other than the late and wonderful great Jesse Owens. We I have to keep using my applause. So, um, a lot of you already know, of course, who Jesse Owens is, uh, where he comes from. But let me tell you just a little bit. Uh, he, he made history, really. Well, he started making history in high school. He broke records in high school. Okay.
Exactly.
And then he went to none other than the Ohio State University. The Ohio
The
State.
Ohio State University.
Yes. And well, I think about 10 years ago, and they finally did a movie, um, a biography on him. And I think it's worth you guys watching it. Again, it was something that it was a must see for my son. And I think that it's something that needs to be in a collection. Um, I don't think he gets his due, just in my opinion. He broke records in high school, turned around and broke more records and at the Ohio State University, and then he made history at the 1936 Olympic Games, which was in Berlin, Germany. I think we all know that story. How Hitler refused to shake his hand, but Jesse Owens did not let that break him. He did what he had to do at those games. He excelled in sport in events like the short sprints and the long jump. He even, I think it was I want to say it was the 400. I'm not sure. It was, or maybe the 200. He fell. He actually
Yeah,
failed.
it was the
Was it the
220.
200?
It was the 220.
Okay. He fell and still came back and won that whole race. And it wasn't a small trip. It was a big fall where he actually landed on his stomach and he got up and won that whole race. And and after his fame, his story didn't end so well. He started doing things to gain financially, doing things that were really beneath him. In my opinion, racing horses and doing things like that to make money. Again, he doesn't really
He had
get
a
his
family to
due.
raise.
Yep, he had a family to raise, so he had to do what he had to do, um, and uh, we don't look down on that at all because
But he
that's
worked
what.
he worked for some iconic brands too, though.
Oh, he did, yeah, yeah, absolutely, he did. Um, so, what say you, Buckeye Bill? Anything else you want to add?
I just want to say that for all our Buckeye fans, it's it's a treat to and this is the reason why we brought Jesse Owens on for the inaugural Black History Month. Iconic for not just the black race or the white race or the United States. He was one of the best athletes
Yeah,
ever. And we have other athletes who have came into their own since him. But even the United States of America knew that he was the top-notch athlete coming out of Ohio State in the world. And we celebrate him for being an athlete and one of the best athletes that the United States have ever produced. And that's
yes,
what I'm proud of. That's what I'm proud of. He went to Ohio State, didn't even get a scholarship, had to pay his own way, the whole 10 yards, but he put his heart into
Yeah.
being a Buckeye. And you can't ask for a better person, a
A better
better
story.
athlete, a better man, and someone who stood for his belief that I can do this, and I'm gonna prove it to you guys.
Right.
And I love running and representing Ohio State to the day he died, 1980.
Yes.
He was an advocate. They even put a memorial outside the horseshoe, I believe,
Yeah. Yeah. There.
in commemoration of him,
Mm-hmm.
because he lived and loved Ohio State. And all,
Yes.
all Ohio State fans, all you got to do is just go back, and if you're a fan, you already know. Those who don't know, just go and pull him up, you know,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
see how much he loved Ohio State. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm excited to commemorate him in this episode of About That Business, because guess what? He was definitely about his business.
Absolutely. He also, at the 1936 Summer Olympics, he won 4 gold medals. It's really hard to win one in track and field events. He won four: the 100 meters, the long jump, the 200 meters, and the 4 by
The
1.
200 meters, yeah, that's what I meant, not the
Yeah,
220.
yeah, 20, the 200. He won 4 gold medals, during that time. So, you know, listen, he's a legend. He's not forgotten. He will never be forgotten.
He's a Ohio State legend.
And he can provide some life lessons for every athlete, for every person, regardless of who you are and what you do. Just
Perseverance.
read his story. Watch the movie. If you don't, if you're not a reader, it's a great story. So again, we love you, Jesse Owens. That's that's what we're our first um, feature for Black History Month, and we'll bring another one to you on Thursday. We're going to stay in track and field, and we'll bring another one. Let's see if you can guess who we're going to talk about on Thursday. So,
Surprise me.
yeah, they probably got a good idea. Our audience, they're pretty smart. They think they know everything, when I get the messages and the comments. So, moving right along. So, we had the Super Bowl performance, and I hope your team won. Congratulations if your team won, if the Seahawks was your team. And it really it was a sad day for me because although I rooted for the Seahawks, it was the last football game, so it's just like, what do I do now? But I guess I'll get some stuff done. um but wanted to talk about the performances. We had some very interesting performances, and this guy right here, this is Charlie Pooh. I think I'm saying his last name right, and you guys can correct me if I'm not. Again, click the link and come on and correct me. He actually sung the national anthem. So I did miss that particular part, but I heard it was very nice. Um, then we had um, Mrs. Carlisle, and I keep wanting to call her Brenda Carlisle, but uh, what's her first name? I'll think of it later. But she did an amazing job as well. And you see, there's one. I think this young lady standing, right here is she's a violinist, but I think her sister actually plays the harp or the cello or something. But they actually performed with her as well. So, and her name just slipped my mind that fast. But she actually sung "America the Beautiful." So, all of course, patriotic songs that we actually sing during the pregame. Um, and she did a good job as well. Then we had Coco Brown, who actually sung the Black National Anthem, um, "Lift Every Voice and Sing." And love this performance too. She actually did a tribute to the late and great Whitney Houston, who I can't find anyone to sing the national anthem better than her yet. I just have not, you know, found anyone else to do it better yet, in my opinion. She just really, really did a great job. And so look at what she's wearing. She has the iconic white headband. She has the white on with the stripes. So that was her way. That was her tribute to Whitney as she sung "Lift Every Voice and Sing." So here's a picture of Whitney, so you can see the similarities, between the two. So I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful tribute because, you're gone, but you're not forgotten, Whitney. And and I think we all can agree she was one of the best to ever do it as far as the national anthem goes. But we haven't been too disappointed with any performance that we've seen. But uh, that was a very iconic performance. And then,
I agree.
yeah, it was awesome. It was. I don't even have the words for it. I remember getting chilled. I was a little, young.
I can't say this though. Alicia Keys, she come in second with me. Hey, call me crazy. Alicia Keys,
Oh, I am. I'm calling you crazy.
Alicia Keys, she tore it up. So she come in
Well,
second.
She did good, but she didn't come in second.
But she came in second because she was truly about that business. I mean, she hit every note conceivable. Alicia Keys, look her up, y'all. Look her up.
Alicia, if you like her, I love you. I just don't think you're second. But that's just my opinion. If I have to choose someone second, I'm gonna give it to Marvin Gaye.
That's different. That's a whole different conversation.
I gotta give it to Marvin Gaye.
That's a whole different conversation. A whole different conversation.
You wanted to say Marvin Gaye.
I wanted to say Marvin Gaye, but I can't say Marvin Gaye if Alicia Keys is in it. That's
no,
crazy.
That's who would be second for me. He was first for me until Whitney. But
okay.
So and then we had the halftime show, which proved to be somewhat, I guess, what word do I want? Controversial, I guess. But for me, it was entertaining. I danced from the beginning to the end, and I've watched it about 3 or 4 times since then, just to see any symbolism that I missed. Did I understand anything? No, I did. Well, some things I did, but as far as like song lyrics and things of that nature, no, I didn't. Did I get a message? I got a few of them. I got a few messages. And so, honestly, I didn't know who, and you guys are going to kill me for this. I didn't know who Bad Bunny was until it was announced that he was doing the Super Bowl, and there was just all this uproar. And it's just, I just didn't know who he was. I have a very diverse selection of music, but it's
and
just.
I know you do music. I was like,
what?
I didn't know.
I didn't know. But then, but people were telling me in my other groups, you don't know who Bad Bunny is, and I'm like, no, I didn't know. However, I started to try to become familiar with him, just because I just wanted to know what the big deal was. And I love his music. It's catchy, it's fun, everything about it. It's just phenomenal. And this performance for me. And listen, hey, you guys click the link if you want to say what you liked about it, and if you didn't like it, why? You'd not like to hear. But I actually enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. This was one of my favorite parts, and this was as he was ending the show. And I love, look at the sign in the back. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. There were so many messages in this performance, and it was just it just spoke one word: unity. We're all here. You can't. Nobody's going anywhere. you know. So
Might as well get along.
might as well get along and try to be happy, you know.
Right.
If you're not going to be happy with yourself, then don't go, just like Miss Tabitha says, don't go making someone else's day bad or making someone else's life miserable, because you are, because we are all trying to be happy, you know. And so, did you like it, Buckeye Bill? Did you like the halftime show?
Well, as you know, while you were standing in front of the TV, I
Oh,
was saying, "What's the trees for? What are they? Why they got trees? They oh, what is this?" And I was just like any other person that can't speak Spanish and
mhm.
not knowing like the iconic message that was coming through the TV. I'm like, man, hold up, man. They got trees and people over here. I know what they doing. Why they doing this? I can't understand what they're talking about. Then I started
Yeah.
looking at how he orchestrated the message,
Oh man. Oh
and it went from the cane fields
yeah.
to him walking off the field with a message behind him and a
Yeah.
football with the American flag first,
Yeah.
walking off that field. And the journey that he took us through was remarkable.
It
I
was.
wasn't ready for it. And
Yeah.
again, just like you, I had to go back and watch it 2 or 3 more
Yeah.
times just to figure out, really? And I got it. I got it. I got it. And I spoke to a gentleman at work today, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't get it." And we literally sat down for like 5 minutes. Me explaining to him the symbolism themselves, not the words that came out of his mouth. Because when you
Right.
didn't understand, I didn't understand it either.
Me.
But if you watch it from the beginning, the cane fields, then the party and the people on the street cutting hair and doing nails and him falling through the roofs
Oh
and
yeah.
coming out. There was just a lot of imagery
Yeah.
that if you really, really paid attention to, you would embrace it a lot more if as opposed to you just saying, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So and that's who I was in the beginning, like, yeah, what is this? Well, I want to change it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to change it. I'd rather watch the commercials or whatever. Again, like I said, I started watching it and I'm seeing the symbolism that took into my soul and into my eyes. And then he didn't have to speak English to me for me to understand what he was trying to say is what I'm saying. So
Right.
even if you was Portuguese or Russian or Chinese, the imagery will show you what the person is trying to describe to you.
Mhm.
And that's where everybody needs to come together and understand we all are the same. We just are different in
That's
various
true.
stages of our lives.
Right.
So I enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would, but I really commend him for being brave, being thoughtful, and being true, you know,
Staying true.
and staying true,
Yeah.
and so he did an excellent job in my view, as far as, like I said, the imagery and how he brought me into his world.
Right.
So I thought it was excellent. I give it an A+. I think a lot of other people gave it an A+ because it was over 130 million people who watched it. So what can I say to say, well, I thought it was garbage, because I can't say that, because he taught me something. And
Right.
that was most important to me.
Right.
That was what was important to me. He taught me something about his culture. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Let me use my
Bad
butt.
Bunny, I don't know who you is. I ain't never seen you before.
You know
That,
he is.
that means I ain't seen none of that. But you did good at the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, baby.
And I'm a whole new fan. You know, like I said, I just I didn't know who he was, and now I really like him. And one thing you said, Buckeye Bills, he stayed true. I like most Puerto Ricans are saying, it was a love letter to Puerto
His
Rico,
people.
and I felt that. I felt that. I was proud for him. I was proud for them, because I really don't like to say them. I was proud for all of us, for us, because he actually put on a great show. It was very energetic. It went from one extreme to the next, but there was always a message in that,
Right.
which is why I had to go back and watch it, because of, like you said, I was just
I'm
up
glad you
dancing.
brought that. I'm glad you brought that up, though, lady. This whole segment,
Mhm.
because I mean, I didn't know if anybody wanted to talk about it or anything like that, and I ain't even have no thoughts about it, other than the fact of what I absorbed from it,
Mhm.
and for you to bring it to my conscious, in this segment, I really appreciate it, because I had to figure out, you know did I like it or not, and what how it impacted my viewing, because I'm trying to watch the game, and
Exactly.
it gave me a newer reality of other cultures. I've never been to Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. I know some people from Puerto Rico. I have worked with some people from Puerto Rico, but I've never been where they're from, and they've expressed themselves to me about it. But he gave me an opportunity to um follow some of the conversations that they have, like in the break room and things of that nature. And that's all they've talked about the last day or
Yeah,
two.
they're proud.
And they are proud and they are excited. So I'm
Right.
proud of him, and I'm proud of them
And I'm
embracing it,
proud of us.
and feeling inclusive. So I think it was great. I thought it was great. A plus.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. And I feel like, Kendrick Lamar wrote us a love letter last year, and kind of opened some of our eyes. I mean, I think I had to watch that about 10 times to get every message. Um, and it was, they were great messages. They
And you
were
gotta understand, they are
powerful,
artists. They're
and they
artists.
were positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and again, there was another, alternative, that was set up by,
I
a
hope
certain
if
group.
you enjoy that, I hope you watched it. And if you enjoyed it, let's talk about it, because I didn't get a chance to see it. But if you enjoyed it, tell me what the most important aspect that you get out of it. So maybe I might even look at it and see, what did I miss? What did I miss? So
Right.
please get on board. Give me a text, DM me, whatever. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what I missed. That type of thing.
And to each his own. I mean, if you chose to go and watch, you know, um, another station or another performance, okay, that's
That's
fine.
what. Yeah,
That's
you got
fine
you
for
got the
you.
right to do that.
But yeah, but there's no need in, just because you chose something else, to insult someone else. You know, okay, you chose to watch that, and you know, and other people chose to watch this. You liked that.
And
You
again,
like
if you
this.
we
There's
didn't if
no
you haven't watched it, you don't know if it was good or not. See,
exactly.
so that's what people have to understand. If you chose not to watch it, then you can't make an opinion on it.
That's
Can't
true.
make an opinion on it.
That's true.
So go back,
And
if you want to make an opinion on it, go watch it.
right.
That's it.
And so
That's what I feel.
I did pose a question on our Facebook page, and I just asked, after the performance, how did everyone like the performance? And so, some of the responses, were, some of them said, "Hey, I didn't like it," but it wasn't, anything disrespectful, or they just said, "I didn't like it," or "I didn't understand what he was saying." And, of course, I saw some derogatory responses too. Um, and again, people have the right to say, you know, what they want, and how they want. Just expect, retaliation when you do that, because I don't have control of who's going to reply to you, and I may have replied to you in a certain way, but I what I there is, when we all watch football, you know, we all watch football and we're together, and that's who we're arguing about. We're arguing about our teams. Leave politics
Leave it there.
out of football.
Leave it there.
We've got to look at it every day of our lives. We've got to do this and got to do that. And this is the one time where we don't have to care. We only care about who wins this game when the clock gets to 0. So leave politics over there where it belongs. Politics had nothing to do with this performance, in my opinion. Some people will beg to differ. Well, in my opinion, we danced. We got a positive message about uniting. He did not just talk about Puerto Rico. He talked about it. You see all the flags there, and in fact, he said, God bless America first, so there's just a time and place for that type of rhetoric.
They can do that on news reels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They can do all that. They can do that anywhere else other than about this business.
Yeah, about this bit, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. Because everybody is welcome. Everybody. And if you have something to say, we're going to respect it. We might disagree. You might disagree with us. But at least we're speaking our opinion, because we all can have an opinion.
And we'll respect that opinion.
And we'll respect it.
Yes.
As long as it's spoken respectfully.
Right.
Okay. And then we'll respect it. But again, I love, the show. The halftime show. I wanted a better game, but
I loved the game. I knew it was going to happen, just like that. I knew it was going to happen. I thought that New England was going to, and I don't mean to transition into that because I'd rather talk about the football game than anything else. That I knew Drake May was going to turn into a pumpkin. And I knew that they were not going to give the ball to Henderson. That's where they messed up. Their whole game plan was to try and make Drake May a hero, and then Campbell, their offensive lineman.
Campbell bothers you.
I mean, it was demolished on every turn. I saw at least 10 clippings of him. That one where what was it? Was it Lawrence? I mean, knocked him completely backwards onto his tail. That was degrading on all levels, even to me. I'm like, oh no, how did that? Do you know how big that guy is, number 66? And how do you get knocked on your tail by a guy who's 75 pounds lighter than you?
But even with that,
just kept on torturing him. And then Diggs, he had 1 receiving yard in the first half. I mean, he had 7 receiving yards in the first half. This guy had what's her name in his head the whole game. He wasn't even into the game. So whatever her name is,
Cardi B.
He should have been focused on the game and not whatever else was going on. He should have been in the game, and that's another reason why they lost. But then you got to understand why Seattle won. Their defense was on the back end, on the front end, in the middle. Their special teams made a good part of it. But Donald and Digma, they kept the ship right. And that was what's important, because without them, Walker would have never got over 150 yards rushing. And Walker was the catalyst, and I'm glad that he got the MVP.
And that's true. But I still wanted, I thought the Patriots were going to play Seattle a little harder. I thought it was going to be a nail biter. And that's what I was hoping for the last game of the season. I wanted a nail biter. I wanted to be on the edge of my seat. I didn't want it to be 4 minutes left.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was watching Campbell get knocked down every time. It was wonderful. It was just a wonderful visual. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
God. When they drafted him Was it out of Alabama? I think he came from Alabama. Somebody correct me. But this dude, he was supposed to be the best offensive lineman ever, and he got knocked on his butt at least 2 or 3 times. He got torched the whole game. And Drake May, he was seeing ghosts. He was definitely seeing ghosts. His head wasn't in the game either. He didn't get an opportunity to show up and show out. He definitely needs another year. And he definitely needs another year of seasoning. Hey, what say you, my man? What's
Dude, I
up?
had to work late. I apologize, man. I'm so sorry. I come straight home and got on, man.
No, that's okay, man. We talking about football, baby. What's
Let's
happening?
talk about it. Let's talk.
Okay, well, listen, my take on the game was Drake May, they wanted Drake May to be the savior, and he was seeing ghosts out there. His offensive line was not protecting him at all. And they didn't run Henderson. They did not run Henderson the proper way. They was trying to run him up the middle, and where his strength is on the outside. He would. So their game plan, Vrabel, what's his name? Vrabel, whatever his name is. His game plan was flawed, and they're gonna have to go back into the the lab and try and figure out first of all to get the ghost out of Drake May's head, and then get the offensive coordinator on track. When you playing that kind of dynamic defense, you have to have a better scheme than what they had. They were not going to score on that team in the way they were playing.
Defense too tough.
So, what you say?
Defense too tough. You couldn't run on defense.
The defense was awesome.
Right.
I mean, on all 3 levels, the defense was awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They couldn't do anything with that defense.
Exactly. So how do they counteract that in the coming? Because the defenses are going to get better because you got Averill coming out in the draft. You're going to have all these kids that's top notch pass rushers. How are they going to counteract that? Is the question.
You got to get in a transfer portal. You got to go get them.
Well, you talking about they're gonna have to go into free agency because the NFL they're getting younger and they're getting faster, and these offensive linemen, they are not catching up to the game. They are not catching up to the game. So, again, I'll just keep saying that the Seattle Seahawks had a better game plan. McDonald outcoached New England. Their players outperformed New England's players, and I just think that the game was too big for Drake May. I think he thought he was ready, like a lot of people, but a seasoned Sam Darnold, who had been through 3 or 4 different coaching staffs and organizations, who has got his butt wrong several times, but he learned how to be a professional quarterback. And that's really all you need when you have a top-notch defense and a great running game. So I just say that Seattle, they are the champions. and they deserve that. I took them 29. I thought New England was gonna at least put up 21 points. They didn't. But the 29-27 is what I said. And that's what I have to say now.
You're hearing a little noise.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Okay.
It's like a rumbling noise in the back. I just text Dave. He should be on here in a second. I apologize. I had to work late. I got here. I got up as soon as I got here.
Okay.
I'm getting feedback, guys. Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
I can't hear her now.
Okay, a little bit of technical difficulty, but
Hey, we're working through it. No, Brandon.
we're back.
Oh,
We're
good.
back, and so so tell me what your take was on the Super Bowl itself.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We're gonna win either way. We had Travion Henderson, we had Jackson Smith-Njigba, which is one of my favorite receivers of all time at Ohio State. So we couldn't lose. So I really didn't care who won because I had two of my boys playing. You know what I'm saying?
And so, do you think that New England used Henderson properly? Is my question.
No, they did
Not
not.
at all.
They did not.
Yeah, I was totally disappointed in their game plan and the use of him. They was using him like he was Master Teague, running him up the middle so he can fall down. It just, I hated it. I think he could have, even if they would have lost, they could have showcased him a lot better in their game plan, and they just didn't. They didn't use all the skills that he got them to the playoffs.
He
And
done
they
it.
didn't use them.
Yes, sir. He did.
He got them to the playoffs. Now I
Did he
know
not
that
win-
New England.
Did he not win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Huh?
Did he not win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
No.
I thought he did.
I think it was the receiver from Arizona. Did he win it? I'm not sure. Somebody correct me. Let me know.
I don't know. What you say, Ladybug? Who won Offensive Player of the Year?
When this year?
Yes.
Offensive?
Offensive Player of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
No. You talking about rookie or just offensive player?
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know who won the rookie.
I'll Google it, but I swear I think Travion Henderson won that award.
Yeah, let me.
If he didn't, he was second.
Let me try it.
Yeah, he was close. He was definitely close because he was the catalyst of them getting to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs, and then they just didn't use him properly.
You like my background? Still fan and curtains.
Wait, I don't.
Second, guys.
Oh no, it was Tetero. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. McMillan. Of the wide receiver for Carolina Panthers. And Tyler Shaw. Let's see. And Tyler Shaw was a runner-up. And then Travion came in third place. I don't know the McMillan. I don't know who that is. Do you? Jason, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. See how the men do me? Just leave me on here all by myself. That's crazy. Well, I'm gonna take it from here. I'm going to say very interesting discussion. I wish I would have heard more from the village. I mean, you guys, get in the comments and so forth, but can you hear me, Jason?
And now I had to back out and
Okay.
come back in.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end because we're about 6 minutes over anyway.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry. I had to work
that's
late.
okay. That's okay. Listen, that's okay. You made it, so that's the main thing. So we're gonna end it here, and like I say, about that business, make sure you have a good week. Make it your business to have a good week, a good day, and listen, don't hold on to anything negative. Life is too short.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm just so happy.
Yes, it's right. Listen, and I'll tell our viewers, hey, me and Jason went at it on Monday. Oh, we went at it. Was it Sunday? Oh no, on Sunday we went at it. But guess what? You see him? Well, he's not going anywhere. Just because we have a difference of opinion doesn't mean he's you see him, right? We're all here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said,
I'm in with you guys.
Well, we were just ending, and saying, just letting everybody have a good week. We're about, 7 minutes over. I'm hearing some, in the background too. I think I need to, I think it's my headphones. I think I need to move them.
Okay.
I'll fix it because I'm hearing it. Do you guys hear it?
That's okay. Technical difficulties. This is a live show.
Yeah. So, but I was telling our audience how me and Jason went at it on Sunday, and we're not going to rehash it, but
difference of opinions. Difference of opinions. That's what I like about this show.
That's it. Just because we were not disrespectful to one another. We were just passionate about what we felt at that moment. And
Ladybug, the next day I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I felt that tall.
I don't know why.
Because I thought I hurt your feelings.
You got your own opinion. You ain't got to apologize for your own opinion. How you feel? Because I feel exactly how I feel. So be ready for it. Just be ready for
it. And that's just it, And so, with that being said, Buckeye Bill, take us on out of here.
Oh well, listen, man. Thank you for this whole hour of engaging, great conversation, great topics, some things that I didn't know, and I appreciate the comments and people who have shared their thoughts. Thank you, JB, for coming on. I knew it was kind of, like you said, it was kind of a little late in the game, right. But we going back on Thursday. Got a lot more to talk about. March Madness and the WNBA and the NBA, and so and the draft. So we got a lot to talk about, and I just appreciate you guys allowing us to be a part of your hour of the day, and thank you, because you guys are about that business.
That's right.
We are the business.
All
you
y'all
are
about that
business.
So
thank you very much. And great show, guys. Great show.
All right.
I love you guys. I love
you. All right.
Love you too. You know
all right.
it. Woo. Yeah.
I'll be there Thursday. Hopefully, I don't have to work late.
Okay, but if you do, we'll wait on you.
Get that money.
We'll wait on you.
I'll be there as soon as I get home. I'll log in.
All right. Good night. Love you too.
Synesthetic.
I'm trying to win my team a championship. I'm trying to win my team a championship. Yeah, go. Let's go. Trying to win my team a championship. We all in the game, trying to get us some ranks and ball in the paint. Should I do what you can? Hey, Block is the name, BMG is the guy. Hey, yeah, but we working. Hey, yeah, but we working. Hey, practice make perfect. Hey, practice make perfect. Trying to win my team a championship. Yeah, and we score every chance that we get. Take advantage of handles, it's all in the wrist. Got shooters on the squad. Perfect aiming up Swiss. Got shooters on the squad. Trying to win my team a championship. Everybody is playing their roles. They watch out post. I pick it